All right, good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the live coaching and mentoring session here at the Bookmap Academy. And we'll jump right in just wanted to brief you on exactly what this is about, this academy. You may or may not be new to it. So John, for example, over in our Discord, is new to it. So let me just show you what this is about. So if you go to bookmap.com and then you click on the more button here, and under community, you'll see this link here, Bookmap Academy. Click on that and then you arrive on this page here. This is where you can apply for the Bookmap Academy. Click apply here. It'll actually scroll you down the page. There's FAQs below. You just give your email and your Discord name. If you don't have a Discord, sign up for it. But this is what you will submit. And then we come into the Bookmap, the Academy room here, or I'm sorry, the applicants room here, and request your spreadsheet from Dan. And then Dan can get you give you your spreadsheet where you will record your trading activities, your images. Basically, I'll just show you here in the Bookmap Academy chat room here. These are great examples right here in front of you. Here's from Dune Runner, from Jack, some other ones, Valet 46 here, Valet Fan, Do It 818, etc. So this is where you post your content, and then we can give you some feedback on it, and then you will repost it back into your spreadsheet as well, so you can get credit for it. Why do all of that? Well, first off, you can get some feedback on your content there from everybody. That's what the Academy community is all about. But the Academy here, the first step once you apply is you are applying for the Bookmap Junior Academy. So when your content starts to meet expectations in terms of quality, then you will be invited to the Bookmap Junior Academy. And that is the proving ground, the testing ground. You'll need to do at least one piece of content per day. And then if you do that and it's excellent quality, then you will be invited to the Bookmap Academy over here, step 2. In step 2, you can get Bookmap for free here. Global Plus will be free. Also, if you double your quota, so we're not talking much here. It's pretty simple. 2 pieces of content per day. That's quality. Many of you are already doing that, and you're in the Academy, or others. Make sure you put it into your spreadsheet, and then we'll give you the MBO bundle as well. All right. The second or third step here is when you start to get really good at that, you can be invited for a coach. You'll get everything as you got before, except you'll also get data for free. We're helping you become a better trader, and we're thanking you with these freebies along the way. And then you'll turn back to the Bookmap Junior Academy and give some feedback, help people along the way, help yourself as well. And we're happy to give you Bookmap data and MBO bundle. And then the next or final step here is Bookmap Academy Streamer. You can stream. You'll get additional incentives as well based on the quality of your stream. And some examples from the Bookmap Academy is Doug and Tom B, as well as Moby. Moby's not streaming with us anymore, but because he wanted to step down and take some time. Anyway, it's all here. It's in front of you if you want to take advantage of it. All right, so just wanted to answer some questions immediately. Let's go through the disclosure, and then we'll jump into some housekeeping stuff as well, and then we'll get to the mentoring and coaching. General disclosure: all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss, is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right. First off, congratulations to the winners of the Blue Jacket this month. Robbed is the winner. He gets 3 months of Global Plus, plus data as well. Okay, so Rob, way to go. And then runner up is Laura. She wins 1 month of Global Plus. Now, what's this program, this Blue Jacket program? It is a part of the Academy now. You can, all you have to do, and I'll show you as well the page for that on the More button here, and then you, or I'm sorry, I don't think it's underneath here. It is just go to, you'll see the link in here, Blue Jacket. Okay, so we can go there. This is a competition. It is within the Bookmap Academy, and just submit your data in there, and then put in a hashtag BJC for Blue Jacket competition, and you can win these two prizes here, or you can win the main prize or the runner-up, and you can read the FAQs in here as well. Right, so it's a competition within the Bookmap Academy. If you're interested in doing that, just sign up for the from that page or the Bookmap Academy, and just start inputting your hashtag BJC, and you'll be good to go. All right, so let's go over a few of the winners in here, and I don't know if Rob is in here or not. Let's take a quick look. On. There you are. And Rob, I mean, just like night and day. I mean, like light years ahead of where you were just, you know, like a month or two ago. So way to go, man. I mean, it's just really heartwarming to see.
Thank you, much appreciated.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic stuff. I mean, you are going through a checklist now. You're even grading your setups. You know, you're adding to your content and making it work for you. In fact, you even went through the process of looking at the flag or continuation pattern. You were getting burned on it, so you looked into your own false breakout pattern, and that's what you have here in your setup over here. In this area here, using the setups checklist add-on. Anyway, some really good stuff, and you know, just I think we actually covered this trade last time, but yeah, this was one of the reasons that we wanted to you know, give you the first prize. But there's others in here as well. But I don't know if there's anything you want to comment on or talk about as a this program or this image in particular.
Yeah, well, in regards to the program, I mean, I just can't thank you guys enough. You know, I've been giving trading a go since the pandemic, like July of 2020, and you know, I really enjoyed trading, but just would struggle with it. But it was always a dream to make it, you know, to do something with it, to have it be a more substantial source of income. And you know, it really wasn't until I really came across Bookmap that started to find some real edge with it. You know, and I tried just tons of stuff. I mean, I tried pivots, I tried, you know, just simple strategies like EMA crossovers, et cetera, and just nothing would stick. It'd be one step forward, two steps back. But you know, once I kind of really fully embraced, I started using Bookmap as part of Thinkorswim. Once I switched over and started using the standalone platform and just embracing it 100%, and the power of it is where I really started to find um, a lot more consistency. And that's not even counting, you know, just the value of the mentorship here. You know, being able to see, you know, all the trades from some folks like Jack and Shark Baloo, Donkey, Crash, you know, your live streams. It's just been such an awesome addition to my trading. And I'm just, you know, I'm just getting started with this too. So, you know,
Yeah.
I'm super excited about the future. I'm super excited to see, you know, like my dream of being a full-time trader actually become attainable. So, the great programs. Anyone's listening who's not a part, I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, yeah. But one of the things though, that really stands out though, Rob, is that you made this happen for you. I mean, we can provide the watering hole here, but you got to drink from it. And you did. You put in the effort. So it's not that you're just going to come in here and someone's going to, oh, I'm part of the academy. If you want to be a trader, you've got to put this forward. You've got to try things. You got to fall down. You get some feedback. Pick yourself back up. We're here to support, and you took advantage of that. So I just want to add that in, that this isn't free in that sense. It's totally free and open for everybody, but you got to put the effort in.
100%, and that's a good shout out, because I before I did join the Bookmap Discord like around January, and I did just kind of lurk for like a month and saw you guys talk about the Blue Jacket, and I just kind of thought, well, I'm tempted to join, but let me really think about it because it's something that I want to commit to. I wanted to make sure that I was posting trades daily. I was posting my setups. And as a side effect, one thing that I've always struggled with was journaling my trades. It was easy to get up in the morning and trade, but it was difficult to go back and review and refine. And it's like, all right, if I'm going to join this academy, I'm going to make sure that I actually dedicate to it. Like, am I willing to commit posting daily, being part of the mentorships every Thursday? And so, yeah, there is a commitment from the trader side, but as a result, I did start seeing a lot of gains and progress. So
Yeah.
good call. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, like for example, I mean, I was astounded. Like, there's been a few people who've really taken advantage of the program. In fact, I was going to even, well, I'll just invite you now. And I don't know if Donkey's in here as well, but we're going to hold a webinar with Donkey and his psychologist or trading psychologist. We already had a webinar with him, but I need to reach out to him. So, like, my apologies for not reaching out earlier. But we've just been kind of inundated with a bunch of different things. We will do that. And then, Rob, I was going to also offer doing a special webinar event with you, because we gave you feedback, and you took it though, and you did something with it. We gave you feedback on that. Well, I don't know who it was. It might have been Slowdown is put together your checklist. And maybe put an image together or something, and you are starting to mark these things up on the chart. There was a suggestion, well, why don't you use your replay mode and go back and review your trades. You can look at them, where you took them, and how you might do it differently, etc. And you did that. So that is such a valuable tool for not just your journaling is good, but really using that replay mode and going back and forth and back and forth, like this, your trade setup in here. I mean, astounding. Like you were scaling into losers, I think, like a month or two ago. Now you're scaling into winners, taking some off, and you took, and then you took a break even here. But like, this, even though it's not a big gain or anything like that, but you have your setup, you have your checklist, you know what you're looking for, you're taking some out of the market, and you're building confidence. And you even note here, like, I probably should have cut the runner here after you've seen this volume. Maybe not, but maybe, because they're starting to pull some of that liquidity in here as well. So they're probably going to come back up and retest this area in here. These kinds of things you can learn from that replay mode. Anyway, I just wanted to cover some of those things because, this is why you won the Blue Jacket, and it was really a great effort on your part. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
I wanted
Thank
to
you.
commend you on that. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I'll reach out to you next week, I think, and we'll talk about maybe that special event that we can do, because learning, if you can cover what you learned for others, I think it would be really helpful.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good. Thank you for the invites.
Okay.
Exciting.
Excellent, excellent. So, all right. I don't know if Laura is in here, but oh, I think Laura doesn't like being on the mic as well. But she was the runner-up here, and she's been putting a lot of time and effort in here. And she also is, well, she's German. She follows Robert Rother, and trades off of the VWAP in here, the anchored VWAP, as you can see. And very, very simple stuff in here, but really so powerful. The simple stuff is so powerful. Anchored VWAP, high liquidity, trading into it. She's in up here, and that's the pullback she's looking for. There's high liquidity now on the offer here. Again, on the offer here, sellers start to come in. They're you can see them reacting off of the VWAP here. Okay, this was the point that Robert Rother. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with him, well, we did this in the well, you can see here, Robert Rother, but here it's the Pro Trader webinar series on trade management. Here we did the whole series last week on it, and here's Robert's. So some great stuff in here. He talks all about that, his trade management off of the anchored VWAP. He has an institutional background, so some really good stuff in there. And this is really the key for him, or one of the main takeaways I took is not only we have the order flow set up in here, but it's the reaction off of the VWAP. So he knows, because he already or Laura already drew this in here, but we're looking for the reaction off of it. Our algos or our traders still averaging their position off of their anchored VWAP, and you can see it here. Okay, this is a shift away from the high. We see it kind of trickles back up again, but the sellers come in and just pound it. All right, so really very, very simple, clean, powerful image, Laura. Way to go. So good job on that one. Another thing to cover here. Welcome back, Moby. Moby's joined the Bookmap Academy as a coach. He was from the original Bookmap Academy a few years ago. There was only like 5 or 6 people in it, maybe 7, but he's been here ever since. He's been using Bookmap for quite a while, anyway, we get the opportunity to get some coaching and mentoring from Moby, so you guys will see him in here. Now he's in Western Australia, so I think it's like 3 or 4 a.m. there. I don't think we're going to see him too often in these meetings, but anyway, just wanted to cover that. And then congratulations to the new Junior Academy members. So like we had just covered earlier, you apply for the Bookmap Junior Academy once your content starts to look pretty good. You've gone through this phase of, first phase is you're marking up your charts and starting to understand the order flow elements. The next element, or the next step, is you're starting to focus that. And now you're on the third element, is like Rob, is to not only has he focused on something specific, now he has a setup, and now he's detailing out his setup. Beautiful stuff. Rob, you're on your way to the Bookmap Academy, and it shouldn't take too long. Vale Fan as well, great image, and Vinny V and Dune Runner, all you guys have been making some really great content. So now this is the testing ground. So jump in there, do 1 per day, get more focused what you're looking for, and then get into your setup, and then you'll get to Bookmap Academy, and you can get Bookmap for free. All right. So that's all I've got for the housekeeping stuff. Good stuff there. Let's move on to the Notion files. All right, let me know if there's any questions in here. Take a quick look. Yeah, the footprint is released, I believe. So we covered footprint the other day in the All Markets webinar. I can cover it again tomorrow. AMZE die. Just come at 10 a.m. and I'll answer any questions that you have there. So anyway, I've got a whole there's a lot of coaches that couldn't make it this session. So I wanted to go over the one of the coaches content here, pieces of content. I don't know, Jack, if you're in here or not, but let's take a quick look. He had posted this, I think I think it was today, right? We'll take a quick look. Yeah, he's looking at this. Well, we'll go through it here to the details here. All right, high liquidity up here. Here's attempt 1, attempt 2, into high liquidity, double top, rejects off of it here. Again, this is, all these things, you can see the kind of rhythm or rhyme to it that just like the image that we saw from Laura, that she had an anchored VWAP up here that coincided with the high liquidity. So here we have Jack has another confluence in here. He's got his gamma from options in here, large call gamma block up here. Well, and here's your high liquidity. You've got a double top into it. You've got your hard rejection. Here's your retest. He's entering in here, beautiful entry. And then, you can even see high liquidity coming in here right after that. And then boom, there's your move. And there's your shift away from all of this price action up here, right? Guys, these are the kinds of things that in the order flow now we're talking about. So I'll go through it one at a time here. So attempt 1, pull back. Attempt 2, he's got confluence on a higher time frame here. He's also got his trend indicator here, but he's got his large gamma block area up here. He's got high liquidity here, and then we got a failure. We've got a retest, failure, a retest here. It's not making it. There's exhaustion up here. There's high liquidity in here. Now, this is where you're looking for the move to unfold. You've got a really nice confluence of events from over here to your higher time frame, to the retest, failure, high liquidity, exhaustion. Now you're looking for the move, and there's the shift. Okay, guys, it really beautiful chain of events here. It is all of these events in here that make this possible, and the shift and the retest. Look at the retest back up to the area where it dropped from. Okay? These are the pullbacks you can look for. Another area for sellers to start to come in, and then take it down again. All right. So anyway, you can scale in and out of these things all day long. Basically, when you start to look for these confluence of events, but the shift here, the shift is really important. All right. This is where it kind of confirms it for you. You've got the right idea here. You can see it here. Beautiful. Like here's your. It's a beautiful head and shoulders pattern up in here. The shift away, the pullback, and the shift away, away, and away. Now it's trending, right? Now you're getting your markdown phase, and you can look for tests into other areas where the buyers came in and where there was high liquidity on the bid. Anyway, good stuff there. Any questions on that one? Let me see. In Discord, no. Okay. All right. So that's Jex, and then newcomer in here. We've been I don't know if he's in here today or not, but we covered you briefly I think last time or maybe the last couple of times. But a mean reversion from FOMC yesterday. Let's take a look. All right, so you got your high liquidity up here, and it looks like actually the same, very similar pattern to what Jack was looking at earlier. And you're actually looking in here at some of these trap buyers, and the you got your high volume node, and you've got your first leg scale out. Okay, so now hold on. So you're actually looking for, okay, I'm a little confused on this one. I don't know if you're here, do it. But anyway, I see the sell here, and then I see the buy here. So I'm a little confused on that. And then I see the other buy down here. Well, anyway, we'll kind of bypass it since I'm getting a little confused. I mean, I can see, yeah, this is your original position here because I can see your stops being moved here, and you scaled out. Looks like as a loser here, and reduce some of the risk, which actually is a pretty good idea because you got in, I think, at the wrong area here. This is kind of important, and it's a detail, but I think you guys will find this really helpful because I struggled with this for a long time as well. I see the shift. I know there's high liquidity up in these areas up in here, and then here's the shift, right? And then I'm looking for that, and that confirms the trade for me, typically. But after some time, I know that the shift is here, but I'm looking for a pullback. And then you could look for little areas in here or here, and try to get in on a pullback. So maybe you're getting in here, but maybe you're just waiting. Wait for that pullback to unfold and wait for the next shift to start to unfold as well. Okay, so for example, this can save you a lot of stress, time, and money, because let all this kind of stuff unfold here, and then you would be getting in maybe in here or waiting for this kind of second shift. Now, if you wait for that second shift and you're waiting for a pullback here, you didn't get it, right? It shifted away and it just kept going. So that's part of this, though. If you wait for that pullback, you might not get it. Now, one of the things up in here, though, that's different is that this is the back and forth in the distribution in your reversal pattern. It takes a little while for this to unfold. Typically, high liquidity has to get filled on the way up. I'm surprised it never traded up here into 78 liquidity. And then we see it shift back. You see the aggressors come in here again. Here's your trap volume. Once the sellers can get below that, these guys are trapped, and then you can see the shift here, immediate, right? Pretty strong, and it just kept going. This is the next pullback right in here, really. So this is I mean, you can see it worked out pretty nicely, but it might pull back all the way back up to here. These things we don't know, but anyway, this is where you can really scale into some of these positions as well. If you take some off and then look for that runner, and then add into it and scaling into it, you can really knock it out of the park. Now, that's a little more advanced. Just build some confidence to begin with, I think is really important. Yeah, here you can see he's talking about pullback triggers may add if in the plan. Yeah, looking at absorption, and some other things in some of the other Bookmap add-ons in here. And I really like your exit down here. You see the buyers start to come back in, and you've got your mid as your target down here, and the buyers coming back in. That's a really good exit. Okay, so nice job on that. And a couple more things just to and high liquidity getting filled down here as well. All right, so you've got a nice confluence of events down here, but you waited until those buyers came back in, and that's really nice. That's patient. I probably would have front ran it and gotten out down here, but we don't know if it will continue or not. But you've got a host of confluences down here, and so it's a pretty good area to consider taking some profit. Yeah, nice work on that. This up here is interesting. That started to go against you, and you're out. You take one off immediately, and it's a really good way to. I mean, that was smart, and it's not easy to do. A lot of times, like we just entered and we want to hold, and that's can be really tricky, I think, sometimes. So in this case, you were disciplined about that. Just reduce some risk. It's going against me. I'm out. And then you move your stop up a little bit here, and that's a big question. But I like that what you did do here, since you had two on and you're looking for it to move immediately. That was kind of a mistake in that sense that reversals take a little while. There's a lot of back and forth, but taking some off, and then that allows you some freedom to maybe move your stop up a little higher, and you can see you hit it back up above this high liquidity here. Now it didn't come near it, but good idea though. This is responsible trade management in that sense. Maybe it was too tight in here as well. Another suggestion would be to you might consider to widen your stops out with your brackets, and then instead of like moving them away, you move them down. Okay, so that way it allows you some flexibility right when you enter, and then you can manage them and be aggressive with them. Right. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty good stuff there. Just another one is on the reversal. Just we never know how long it takes. It might just continue to kind of grind and grind and grind. Instead of like a double top here, maybe it does like a triple top. Maybe it does 3 hits to the high and kind of a wedge pattern before totally failing hard, and then see that big drop and that big shift. This is what it did this time. You can see the trap buyers, like you said here, but also here, and then the move and the shift away here. That's when you most likely have it, and it's a pretty nice move there. So all right, so I just wanted to cover that one in some detail, and you've got some other images in here, but I think we'll move on to Danny. I don't know if Danny's in here. Danny Garcia had put this into the Twitter account. So he's looking at his profiles. In this case, he's looking at the not volume, but volume and market profile. He's got his market profile here. He's talking about the D period here. And then here's the A, B, C, D. You can see the move down here, FOMC. This is, guys, if you have any questions about some of these, some of the volume profile or market profile, we've got some profile traders. One is, here, let me go back here. Obviously, is Tom B. He's been trading profile for quite a while, so you might want to check out him. He streams daily. 11:30 a.m. East Coast time. Another one here, excellent profile trader is Charles from Pirate Traders. Really knows his stuff well on Dalton, and this is an excellent a webinar on trade management. So I would really highly recommend that you watch this. But he talked about some of these periods as well in the market profile and your single nodes, etc., and then retest back up into areas. So anyway, Danny noticed this, and then this is the trade he took. Okay, so down here, it looks like he got in someplace around here, and started to maybe see this kind of shift and change in the order flow. There's a little bit. It's kind of hard to see some of it here with the volume, but there's high liquidity down here. But he's starting to see maybe some buyers come in. I would like to hear more from him. Like the shift actually takes place here. Same ideas that we were just covering, right? Here's your zone in here. Very clearly, here's your shift. Okay, this is your pullback. Look for that low volume pullback. It is not a low volume pullback. Okay, so he's really leaning hard here on his volume profile or market profile because this is kind of equal here. You can see it down here in the bars. Maybe there's a bit more buying in this move up, but it's trading into high liquidity on the way up. So it is being absorbed or transacting. So it's kind of iffy in here. It's clearly a shift away, but it's trading into high liquidity. They're not pulling it. And then you see a lot of sellers give it another try here. And now this is likely due to the, it's FOMC. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of battling going on. But he's really leaning hard on his market profile here. Okay, so this is his bigger picture, what he's looking at, and then here he's zooming into Bookmap to get some deeper insight. So yeah, it would really be great if you were on the call here. But anyway, because I'd like to kind of know some of these details. I can give you a lot better feedback on that. Anyway, you caught the shift. The sellers came in, and they got squeezed. And then here's a beautiful shift in here. This is more like what we're looking for. See this high liquidity here on the offer? Most of it is being pulled. And look at the buyers start to come in. Okay, so this is a lot more confirmation here. First off, you got this shift here. Okay, this is dubious though. We don't know what's going to happen there. Clear this. So we don't know about this here. Once we start to come back up and you start to see those buyers, and then you see a flip in the order book. On the offer, they're pulling. Look on the bid here, they're underneath it, and you find buyers. Beautiful. There's your shift. Okay, especially here's your shift right here, and you can see the pullback. Look at that pullback. It tries a bunch of times here before coming back up, and then nice exit, holding and waiting. So it trades into high liquidity. Then he starts to see the sellers come in, and it looks like he's getting out here. Okay, so some good stuff there. Let's see here. Yeah, guys, if there's anything in particular that a piece of content that you want to go over, I've got a whole host of people here to kind of go through. But I'm the only coach today, so maybe we can get to some of your stuff. Vale Fan, it sounds like you're in a trade at the moment. I don't know if you want to maybe do some live analysis on that, but we can consider that. So let me know if you're game. And we can maybe take a look here. Anyway, guys, I wanted to go through this one here because we're talking about market profile. Not so much volume profile, but market profile. And what I really liked about it was something that Charles had mentioned in his webinar. talking about those single prints, and that when you see these kinds of things, he looks back at the previous days, and I mean, here you can see that you've got your value area high, and this is your tapered profile here. But this is the key here, that he's keying into a potential opportunity on FOMC, right? And it's dipping down, yet his D period here is telling him something. That's when he's jumping into Bookmap, okay, and then looking for something, and then taking it back up. So nice one here. It's about a 10-point move that you got, maybe a little bit more, but a lot more confirmation up here. But you give up about 5 of those points. But just wanted to cover it anyway. All right, so let's go over Dune Runner. I don't know, I think you're in here. Yeah, there you are. If you want to go through this in some detail here, you have been extremely humble about your trading, showing losers, and then learning from them. I mean, like, look at your number 6 here. Punch yourself in the face, pay a bit more attention, or more tuition at the school of trading here. I would just say one thing, like, being humble is really excellent, because that's when you can be more objective about it, step back, and learn. But make sure that you aren't too hard on yourself either, because if you get really hard on yourself, that can hamper the learning process. Just wanted to mention that. Anyway, if you want to go through some of the elements in here and what you were talking about. See, I think got the mic. I still see you muted, but then Valley fan.
Oh, how about that?
Oh, okay, there you are. There you are.
Oh, no, extra buttons. Nice to meet you
Yeah,
guys.
I guess I kind of beat myself up, but I put the
sorry.
smiley face at the end of it to soften it. I take it in jest. That's fine. That's all part of the deal.
Okay.
But yeah, this was I guess just not paying attention to the FOMC event that was coming up. So I was in a trade, just a long drawn out trade, but it was just kind of building balance for several hours. And then after going back and reviewing, and that's I guess why I like posting some of the losses, is because when I go back and look at it, I go, oh, look at that, I missed something.
Yeah.
So if you notice right there where it's that 3, I can see where I was green for a little bit just right before the release of the news, and all the liquidity just drops off. Like,
yeah,
it just goes dark right there at my number 3 rep. Yep, exactly right there. And that should have been. I think I might not even been in front of my computer at the time. So I had some things going on at home, just trying to trade, and got the volume turned up, waiting for my ticks and bells to go off to have me run back to the computer. But yeah, I missed it. By the time I got back to it, it was already stopped out. So that's why I said, well, this has happened before, and the lesson will be repeated until learned. And hopefully I just do better next time and keep catching. I'm still consider myself fairly new at the trading and all of that. I've been doing it for a few months now, but I mean, I know people have been in here for years and have a lot more experience than I do. So just trying to learn.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, like, I really appreciate the transparency. And here's your trade, and you're covering it. Yeah, there's like so many lessons to learn from it. Is like, be aware of the economic calendar and the geopolitical stuff. Because those, like, we're talking about technical shifts, like over here at FOMC. I mean, that this is what happens, and then it shifts away. You actually do get the retest here, a lot of times it'll just keep shifting, especially on something like FOMC. I mean, that's probably one of the most, it's the biggest and most complex economic release that there is. It's multifaceted, and yet you still got the pullback here, which is kind of funny. Sometimes it does that, and then but boy does it! But it just takes off here, as you guys can see. The so yeah, I mean, like it's funny. I know you're in Scott's room. You're following Scott quite a bit. Scott's zones, etc. The oh God, what was I going to say now? Oh yeah, I've seen him. And he's also really humble and transparent about this. He'll say like, look, I messed up, and guys, learn from me. Like maybe he left orders out there. These are the kinds of things. This should be like on a list somewhere, like that have, or you've got to digest these and exercise these plans, like open orders, or you might leave some sort of something open, or you just didn't pay attention to, or geopolitical stuff or economic news or whatever it is, because you can get really hurt with those things, and we all do it, and it's just a part of things. It's just what happens. So I mean, like Scott's a veteran trader of I don't know how many years, and still he does it. So we just have to get better and better at it. And I'm not trying to harp on you about this so much, but all of us in general. It really is important. Like there's so many days like you nailed it. It's like you have your strategy, it aligned, it was your setup, maybe you took it, and but then you didn't manage it well, or like you left an order, or you went away from the screen, or whatever it might be, something, and then that day could have been really profitable for you, but instead it was mediocre.
Yeah, I mean, I was really excited about the setup. I had an inflection zone and one of the red lugs. Everything was a lot of confluence for the short, and then I put it on, and then part of it was the trade was on for 3 hours, just kind of rotating up and down. So
Yeah.
I get distracted other stuff and just can't stare at it every second for 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
So, long term.
Yeah.
And then on the second photo, I put another pic there. It has just a close up of you can just really see a line in the sand where it just drops off.
So you mean this move in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the number 3 from the zoom out. That's just when it happened real time, 5 minutes before the event. Everything just dries off, and
Right.
you start seeing some immediate action, and then it just bounces, retests, and see ya.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, what else can I mean? Just trying to think about some help here or mentoring. There's a few things that kind of come to mind. That one, the comment that I just kind of elaborated on, that's for everybody, not just you. I mean, like, it's for myself. I mean, like, I do that too. Just not paying attention, and being a little sloppy with the orders. But there should be this. This is something we can do. There should be no excuse of that. That's like waking up and brushing your teeth every morning, or whatever it is that you do. You just do that, and then you'll fix that problem. But it's an important thing. I've seen veteran traders do this many times. They're like, oh man, I forgot, I left one open, and they're down like hundreds, maybe even thousands, and they need to close it out. So yeah, that's one thing. Another thing in here, so you had a lot of confluences. You had your zone, Scott zone, the lug, everything. Um, it is FOMC day, so this kind of back and forth is to be anticipated, I think. Even though it's like 11 o'clock here, you might consider just not trading on that day. Looks like, oh no, you're still in here. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, you might consider not trading on that day, or waiting, or maybe trading earlier in the morning than this, because here, like, some weird things happen, and it's hard trading. It's not, and the market's not normal. It's waiting for this event. There's a lot of pushing and pulling on things. So basically, you're trading at technical levels, but in a period that's not really respecting the technicals.
Yeah, and I could have paid attention more to the at 1:30 Eastern. The cash pit closes also for gold. I mean, Goldex is still going, but
Yeah,
the traditional close of that, and that would have been a perfect time to get out. Would have been slightly green there.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, so the last time was the FOMC. I looked at it. I use the Trader Sync to manage the trades, and looked at that day just to kind of judge it. I'm just starting to put some trade info into that, and I noticed that I was profitable in the morning, but during and leading up to the actual event is definite red zone. So yeah, I just, as a new trader, just need to pay more attention to that and
okay.
set up some guidelines and that.
Yeah, I mean,
Not,
like, there's a few other things in here, I mean, that are technical, but like I said, I mean, you had your higher time frame confluences and everything, and you were all excited about it because everything aligned. However, it's coming up to one of the biggest events in the market, um, and you can see that you basically got trapped in here with the order flow. Here's your drop, your shift away. Here it comes back to it, and that's it. This is your shift, and you can see the squeeze here. Back up above this little high right here, and then it just kind of goes back and forth and back and forth, and then you can see it shifts again in here. Actually, this kind of action to me looks like a lot like after 4 p.m. here in the East Coast, like the Asian session, and it just you'll get this kind of like grinding, and then it shifts, and then grinds, and then shifts, and then grinds a lot of the time. So that's exactly what's happening in here, and yeah, just some considerations. One other piece of advice or thing that just kind of came to mind in here was this area up here. This is where it dropped from, and you could look for maybe a pullback to here. Now, for all those other reasons that we just mentioned, like maybe you wouldn't want to trade at all. If suppose that this wasn't FOMC, look for that kind of pullback and retest instead of getting involved on the big volume in here, because we'll likely get it, and then you can look for that move continuation. It's hard to do, or I have found it hard to do, but I'm getting better and better at waiting for that pullback, and then looking for that this to be the low volume, and then look for those sellers to come back in and then move it.
yeah, and those two white lines they go all the way across. Those are the Globex VWAP and the US VWAP.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, yeah, good stuff. Thank you for sharing.
Yep. Appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, Rob Davis. Let's see, let's get you in here. Or I'm sorry, Valet fan. Dan, did you want to, or Valet fan, did you want to go over some stuff before we go over Rob's? Because you were kind of in live market.
Yeah, I'm still in my Apple earnings play right now. It's going crazy. Just like Google and Tesla did last week when I played them.
Okay. Let,
Everything that's hit the dollar level, it just takes off. So my
yeah.
average 177.80.
So I'm sorry, you said you're in Apple right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Here,
Are, do,
I'll share this screenshot, the latest one I took.
or do you want to share your screen? I mean, you can do that as well, I think.
Oh, can I? Okay. Yeah, I think Dan was trying to get me permission.
Oh, you know
It's
what?
still
I think
showing I can't.
I need to step down. I need to stop sharing. So yeah, hold on. Because this is the stage. That's how it works. So try it now.
Let me get it.
Yeah, and then I'll pop this out so people can see it on YouTube. Okay. Think you're just sharing the.
It kicked me out when I tried to share.
Okay.
Let me see.
Could you try again, please? Sorry, that shouldn't have happened.
Oh, no worries. Where's the thing?
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, this is the 1 minute chart. This is R4. I actually went short here on R4, hopefully for a reversal, but then I realized the earnings were coming out later. There were tons and tons of orders all day long up here, and they were just building, just like Tesla and Google the other day. These orders at 7,500 were just building and building all day long. And I was like, well, this looks exactly like they did when I played them a couple weeks ago. So I'm just going to hold my position and see what happens. I'd already done really well on the trade, so I just figured I'd stay in.
Yeah, beauty. Look at that continuation pattern there, that flag pattern.
Yeah, I got
Beauty.
a nice ad right here
Yeah,
when it
yeah,
pulled back.
yeah, beauty.
Yeah, this is thanks to you guys though. My mentor, Thor Young, he's helped me with my cam pivot trades,
Uh-huh.
and everything I've learned from Bookmap, I've just been able to apply so quickly. So I
Nice.
appreciate you guys so much. I really do.
Oh, nice to hear. Thank you. Yeah, really. I mean, God, you just nailed this thing. So it's. I see a lot of selling up here, and obviously lots of liquidity being filled on the way up. And you're still in this right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got 14 shares. I mean, these are just like vanity partials.
Yeah.
Just so when it goes and breaks a dollar higher, I can just say, hey, I got a partial there. So, I mean, yeah, I got 14 shares left, but I just partial, just why not?
Yeah.
But I'll swing whatever this doesn't end up breaking through 186, I'll just swing it.
Yeah. Nice. I mean, like,
Uh-oh.
it's
Looks like it wants to break 186.
yeah, it's still got some momentum to it.
Every time it hits a dollar level, it just explodes.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah, it just hit your 186 and it's still
Am I
going
gonna
here.
take that one? What's going on? They're not gonna let me partial out that few shares. Oh well, I'll just swing it for the next day. But
Okay.
yeah, I love the community and it's been awesome. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we've been meaning to get to you and go over some of your stuff. God, we haven't gone over a live trade ever. So here we go.
Well,
Uh,
that's why I was posting. I was just staying in it, and I'm like, if this thing goes, I wonder if they'll want to see it and see how I use Bookmap and get a live shot of what a ridiculous earning play looked like. But this is my third one in 3 weeks
yeah,
like
yeah,
this, and I just get into a good position in the day, and I see the orders there. I see we've been buying all day, And I'm like, I'm just going to protect my position and make sure I have enough. If it falls back, I can get out in time, and I'll just watch it go. And it took a while, but once it started going, it was ridiculous. I got a whole recording of it too. I'll share with you guys.
Yeah, nice. I mean, great trade. And
Thank you.
yeah, earnings play. I mean, like you know, so important in the stocks, and playing them can be really tricky. Uh, but man, I mean, you could just knock it out of the park, and this can set you up for you know several months moving forward as well.
Hmm.
Depending on the earnings and the kind of market fundamentals in the bigger picture. That people are just like going to continue to just buy Apple and buy it because it's doing great and everything is looking good. I wonder how I'm curious to see how this kind of fits into the bigger picture with FOMC and
I saw everything was buying today. SPY, Qs, everything was just starting to buy at the end of the day. And that's when I got in this position. I was like, it's like when I got in for the reversal, it pushed a little bit, but then it started to get into the moving averages. And when I like my R4 breakouts rather than a reversal, I like the moving averages to crawl up to the level. And then I have that to play against. And they started to crawl up, and I was like, okay, I think I might need to reverse. So then it pushed over R4 and then dropped back, and I reversed and got back in right here, right under R4. This right here is my original entry, right under R4.
oh wow.
And then playing into the trade to get some profits, because once I get good profit off of it, everything else is just bonus for me. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop out at break even. So I'll take these small little ads on these pullbacks so I don't have to add bigger higher to get the profit. And I'll just try to get underneath the trade as I'm adding and then get a good position. And then once it gets above these moving averages, then I let it go.
Right.
That's just how I think out my trades during the day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I can kind of like comment on, I think, is I really like seeing the way that you scaled in again after that kind of pause, and then more volume coming back in, and I can see precisely where you got back in, and there's a big volume dot there as well. So
Mm-hmm.
you're looking for the next move up after the pause.
Yeah, I started to see this absorption coming into this order, and then this wasn't going anywhere. It just stalled, but there were a ton of volume. And then as soon as I saw this little bit of stacking coming underneath, I just added and
Yeah.
it took off.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly it. I mean, like as soon and as soon, you see that volume come back in. I mean, like you can look at that. That's a little trading zone in there. Like there's a previous low in that
Hmm.
flag, and then it came back down. It retested that little area, and then, like you said, you saw the absorption. You saw the volume come in, and you saw the absorption and kind of exhausted out too. Like you said, no one was interested in taking it lower. The buyers come back in and it's off to the races again. That's really the heart of the continuation pattern right there.
Well,
So
it's Bookmap. I use it all day, zooming in, zooming out, using the settings to find the liquidity I'm looking for. If it's a moving average that I'm getting some issues with, I'll search for it and I'll find it. I'm like, okay, let me watch this. And then, once I get a hold of a trade and I feel pretty confident, and I try to keep my average safe, so I'll maybe only add 10 or 20% because I know about how much it's going to pull my average up and whether that's in a safe spot. So I tried to keep my average on this below 72.50 for the earnings play, just so I had some room with these daily levels from pre-market high and the high 2 days ago that I knew I'd probably have some buying here to try to push it back up, or at least to kind of protect me for a little bit.
yeah. Good job. Nice management and nice scale back in, and then scaling out, piecing out just a little bit here and there along the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for all you guys do.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm really glad that we got you on and going through you here in the live market. So
Yeah, it was
congratulations.
fun.
Nice,
This is
nice.
your first live trade on here?
Yeah, because it's always after the
Nice.
market closes. So there's not much to go over. But earnings is a good one. Absolutely.
I've got like I'm gonna make a playbook for these. And I love your guys' help on it and try to share it because these are very playable. Like it's the same play I played on Tesla, it's the same play I played on Google, and I just prepared for the close and the earnings. I
Yeah,
was like, there's a lot of orders overhead. We've been buying all day. I mean, it has to be good news, right? Why else would we be here? And if not, then I've got a good protection with my entry and my average to just get out. And
right,
it's just this is just bonus for me anyway. I'd already done really well in this trade. So this was all just bonus.
right. Yeah. Well, maybe that's your thing, that you become really, really good at is earnings calls and trading them because man, you can be extremely profitable doing something like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Bruce. I appreciate it.
Sure. Let's move on to the next one here and share my screen. Okay. And let's get on to the Notion file. Where is that? All right. I just got a couple more left, and we can round it out unless someone wants to go over, something they have in particular. So Rob actually commented it the other day on this one. You're jumping in and trying all these different things, which is good. You're going to find something that sticks and works for you. And you're talking about your anchored VWAP in here. This was the image, and let's see. I see a long here, a short here, and then your short, and then your take profit here. So I think looks like this is a stop out, but then you got in again here and wrote it down. And I had commented on here to you, and I kind of forgot what I had said. But why don't you walk us through, Rob, what you were doing?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, there you are.
Yeah, that first buy there, I think that was I forget exactly. I think that was from something I was doing earlier. That was a longer one.
Uh-huh.
But those two shorts, those were part of the same thing. Because at that, I was going short there,
Yeah.
and I saw that short impulse coming down off that VWAP.
Uh-huh.
And then I saw it start to come in again. Something I can't really get in these images is the stuff I hear on Market Pulse.
Uh-huh.
So that's something I can't really capture in these.
Yeah, well, you can capture it in the subchart. So I see the selling in here. It really nothing in here. It's kind of quiet, and then the selling picks up here and again here. So you're riding that momentum to the downside.
Yeah. There's a image I put in the chat, the Bookmap Academy chat. If you want to bring that one up, because I think it's a better image. I just put that one up there.
Okay.
And it's all marked up and everything.
Okay. Hold on a minute. Oops. All right.
Yeah, see, this might make a little more sense what I'm trying to do with it. I'm trying to use it. I'm trying to have some additional tools to help with continuation because I've been working on that for a while.
Yeah.
And I was going, I just need a little bit more to help me out with spotting these. You can see the point of control moving up. You can see everything sitting above a VWAP, and there's that white line that's an anchored VWAP I had from a different area.
Mm-hmm.
The purple is just a daily anchored VWAP starting from a RTH open.
Okay.
And you see that there's that impulse there, and then the sellers can't push the price down. And then the point of control shifts up, and then I hear some stuff on Market Pulse that's beeping. And then so I go long, and then I only did one lot, but that was my target right there. That high liquidity. And then there was more above I could have stayed in or done 2 lots. I guess the better thing would have been to do 2 lots since I saw 2 targets like that.
I wouldn't say that necessarily. Like this is something that I remember, like, years ago, Alan still talks about it, where we just talked about, like, take some off, and the sure thing, take the sure thing and build confidence. You just went through your checklist. I would encourage you to just go through, even go through, watch this recording, because you've got your checklist. You just mentioned it, so it's verbal.
Yeah. See this image here. This is I see it happen several times a day. Maybe not exactly the same as this, but you have the same kind of overall thing. It could be going long, it could be short. I'm trying to do continuation like we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to use, I know how important VWAP is as a tool. And I've been watching some of Robert Rother's stuff too. I like what he's doing, but I also like what you've been teaching about continuation, how simple it is. And I'm going, well, how can I take VWAP and maybe just a few other things to assist me with getting better with continuation? Because these happen all day long in different variations. So if I can get good at them, I can scalp these all day long. When I see them come up, if I can put the pieces together right.
Right. I mean, like, I think what you there's a couple of different things that kind of come to mind, but I wouldn't feel bad about taking your profit up here, because you have your reasons. You also have this range in here in your rectangle, and it did a measured move up into high liquidity, right? So that you have good reason to take your profit. You just hit a single, okay, and you nailed it. You got what, 3 points, 4 points out of it, right? So look for the next one, there's and just get good at it, and then you'll start to look at more and more of it. Like, maybe the measured move is this. Okay, well, if that is the case, then shouldn't it do it over here? And it kind of does, so it traded through that. But maybe then the safe way is to, like, if you got in 2 in here, take 1 off and then hold for your measured move, or for that high liquidity that's up here. I don't know if it traded up here or not, but what I'm trying to get at is, this is kind of a pivotal thing, I think, with you, Rob, that I've seen is, like, you've always been talking about kind of the here and the now, and then getting frustrated, like, about it. But here in this image, you just enumerated your checklist. So write that down, and go and make sure you look for it again and again and again, because you're leaning on all these other elements in here. Your impulse move, this chop back and forth in here. Sellers can't push it down. There's a lot of exhaustion in here. There's a lot of selling in here. but you can see the buyers kind of shifted it away. It already had auctioned off up here. It was consistent, strong buying in here. It's a strong move here. All of these things add to this going up. Now, you also mentioned you've got your view app. It moved up. You've also got your market pulse and how or you don't have market pulse on this one.
Well, I had the oh, it's because I only had the market pulse going on for NQ. I'm watching ES and NQ. You know, I have them both charts up side by side. I have a big TV, you know, and that they're both up side by side. So just at this particular moment, I saw a better opportunity here on ES, but I've been watching both of them, and
yeah,
I got kind of the same thing set up on them.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, you know, write those things down. Put that into your checklist, and you know, maybe even consider like slowdown. You know, your pattern in here, and what you're looking for that continuation. So this could be your setup, and get really good at it. And like you said, it happens all the time. We've seen it in other images just today. We saw just a beautiful one with Vale found there in Apple. I mean, the thing just went exponential, and then you got this little pullback like this. It came back up here again, and you got one more little pullback. It was kind of hard to see the first one here, but you got this one here. He had high liquidity. It traded into it, and there was little selling after that or around that area here, and then he saw the big green dot come in here, and he's in, and then you know he just nails it. This is
Yeah. I mean, essentially, that was the same trade in this image.
exactly.
You know, it's just continuation, and it looked like he was just nailing it. It looked like he got in at the bottom, and like he was taking profit all the way up, and then he had the little pullback, and then got in long again, and
Yep.
just nailed it the whole way.
Yep, exactly. So there's going to be some frustration in some of this, as you know. Like here's like that little swing in here. It tests it, it goes below it, it rejects it, comes in here. Okay, it looks like it's going to break out here to me. It didn't. In fact, it trades back and forth. You get some exhaustion. Where are the buyers here? They don't show up. You get sellers. It looks like it's going to roll over and fail here. But it doesn't. Buyers pull it away one more time, and they're starting to trade up here. One more little pullback, and then your entry is really excellent.
Yeah, I think one thing was that it's something Tom B talks about a lot is the you know, when you get the point of control shifting, and it's not able to dip back below, and that's telling you, hey, there's kind of a consensus that price is moving up at that point. You know, and it's not dipping back below the point of control. So that gives me a good sign. Hey, this is about as good of a shot as I have to go long right now.
Yeah, exactly. That was a major confluence for you, as you had mentioned. You might not get this all the time, though, that point of control like that. But put that into your setup. And if you know you don't get it, you know, I don't know. Maybe you can look at your CVP column or something to give you kind of an idea of, or you can reset. What you could do is you could make another SVP column and then have a reset of a point of control. So you can have multiple points of control, and then so you can get it. You can always try to get it in here on this range. It doesn't have to be for the overall session for your you know, point of control. So that's something to consider if you're relying that heavily on your point of control. You know, I try to go through and teach the reading this back and forth and reading this order flow in here, instead of relying on the lines in the chart, just because the lines on a chart, like, they can be a great confluence. I have found personally, just from my side, that I get kind of confused by them, and I get a little too reliant on them, and I don't like it. So I just look at the order flow instead, and look at the liquidity and try to gauge, all of this in here, and maybe have a confluence with something, indicator, or something, but maybe.
Well, there's some higher time frame charts. I use Trading View also, and some of this also lined up with what was on Trading View. I didn't get a screenshot of that to put in there.
Yeah, that's
But,
fine. That's fine.
But I mean, I'm looking at that too. So, but really, I'd like to operate just in Bookmap as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because this is telling you everything that's happening right now. But then, you can look way further out on TradingView or some other program like that, and get a bigger picture.
Right. Whatever you that helps you. But I really encourage you to write those conditions down as you went through them when you talked about this trade, and put that into a plan, and study it, because this is this seems to be this worked out really easily for you. I mean, it didn't go against you one tick, but that's not the point, because when it goes easy, that's it's like, did you learn from it? So it's usually when we make mistakes, or it's hard, is when we really learn. But go through your process in here, write up your checklist, and then try it again. I would use Robbed as an example, and maybe even reach out to Robbed, how he went through this process, because he's really gained a lot from it.
He's definitely put some good stuff out.
Yeah. So try that, and see if you can put some content together, and then try to get some discussion going off of it, and hone your process, and replay mode, use that, etc. And Rob, you're on your way, man. I mean, that's it. Way to go.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it seems encouraging. Some days I'm just stuck, and I'm like, God, I don't know if I want to just give this up or not. But I think some of the pieces are coming together a little better.
It's going to be like this all the time. It's not easy. This trade worked out extremely well, and you didn't feel any pain on it. But it's rare. It doesn't happen that often. But at least you're leaning on these other elements to give you something higher probability, right? And then start there with your studies, and go over it again and again and again. And then just hit singles with your trade management. Keep your trade management really simple to begin with. In, out, made some money, look for the next one. Okay, don't kick yourself. Oh, I should have gotten in 2 or 3 or 4. I should have scaled in on another flag in here, which is kind of here, but no, lean on this. This is the sure thing. This will not confuse you. This will serve you well. And when you start to finagle with it, that's where you can get really confused. So don't do that. Stick with this one thing and just get really good at it, because it will present again and again.
All right. Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. D&T, you're in here as well. Excellent. So I had just made a comment on your uh, one image in here. So I thought maybe we'd go over it. You here, we just open it up here. So I think, yeah, was it in here? You're trading off of your anchored. You nailed your anchored VWAP. And this is really nice. In fact, Dan and I were both looking at this. So a lot of volume, buy volume in here, and so the move away, you anchored your VWAP here, and here's the sellers trying to come in. Now there's a big battle in here with these sellers. Look at these huge sell dots in here, but they just get stuffed, right? Your anchored VWAP, you nailed it here. This is a great anchored VWAP. I'm not a big fan of the anchored VWAP. Like I said, lines on a chart, and I see this line. Oh, there's my anchored VWAP, and I'm anticipating action off of it. But this is where it really can be helpful for, at least for me. Here, look at all of this selling right here. Yet this is the reaction. There's your shift. The buyers come in, move it away. Look at it come right back to these sellers again. They could take it here. The sellers could take it down. They don't show up. And it kind of trickles back up and some back and forth in here. And then you got in here, kind of a bounce off the anchored VWAP, and then you got out at the top of the range. Nice. And then let's see, it looks like, so then we have the 930 cash open here, but the battle comes back in raging here. Sellers hitting hard in here, hard. And, you know, you got your absorption indicator, and that's working well for you. You can see it stops in here. I'm surprised they just weren't able to take it below and at least test, you know, maybe back down to here. They didn't, and you nailed it, right? It's just my question to you was, like, you know, you're buying into all of that selling at the cash open. Now you nailed it, and you also have your anchored VWAP strategy that you're sticking with, and it worked. But yeah, my question was, like, I wanted to hear from you why you wanted to sell on this, or buy again here into all that selling.
I think I got pretty lucky. You know, my entry probably wasn't that great, so you can't see it. But oh, you know what? You'd have to go to the other image that I have up. But there you can see. You actually can't even see it. So you have the VPOC that shifts down right there at the open, and just out of anticipation that the market might go back up to test the old VPOC at the open. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So VPOC shifts down at the open. I'm anticipating it for me to mean revert back up to the VHVN, which is above me. So, and I see that you know, there's being absorbed, and there's two anchored VWAPs there. There's one before the news event, and there's another anchored VWAP at that low at that news event there that we just seen, where the market kind of reversed. So, and they both align here. So that's where I took that long, and I was anticipating the market to go back up to mean revert back to the old VHVN. And I just kind of got lucky. I guess it worked, because you're right. I was nasty selling, and I'm trading with MES now. So it seems like I was just a little bit more riskier than I usually am with ES. I feel like I could have took it. And if I, you know, it's so weird, the mindset switch from trading ES to MES, you know, it's wild.
Yeah. Well, you know, anyway, like you nailed it. You scaled into this, and you know, you got in again here, just a little bit above your previous entry. You got out here, and then you got out up here. Yeah, I'm a little curious on this
So
first exit here. This one is great. I like that a
that's
lot.
at the +1 standard deviation of those anchored VWAPs there.
Okay, okay. So
So in
right in
Robert
here.
Rother's, man, it's crazy how many people like watch that thing and are using this tool now. I'm blown away at how many other people I'm seeing are doing the same thing now. But yeah, that's +1 standard deviation of both of those VWAPs kind of met right there, where you kind of get risk neutral kind of right there. That was also aligned with VHVN at the open as well.
Okay, okay.
And then we'll see the +2 standard deviation on top where the market just slightly, yep, right there. And then where it just kind of came back down to the RTH VWAP. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's amazing, this anchored VWAP, because I've never, you can actually see the two-sided you can actually see like the two-sided nature inside of the price action going in these algorithms following these anchored VWAPs. It is crazy. And when you chase we were talking last week about chasing a trade or entering a trade, and you kind of get like a bad entry instead of just putting it there and waiting for it to come back to you. Well, when I chase a trade, I realize now that I'm probably chasing that trade right into one of those standard deviations off of an anchored VWAP somewhere, where an algorithm snaps and pushes it right back up to where if I had kept my order, I would have got filled. And I'm actually seeing it now in like real time when I'm chasing in a trade or something, or when I used to chase a trade. I can see where the algorithm might have picked up right there and goes back up to where my original order would have been. It's crazy to see different like this in the market now. Like, it opens my eyes up to a whole nother like element.
Yeah, yeah. I would just say like I mean this is you know this is just my very very personal side of it because like again for me I would get confused on all these lines
You're right.
and
It's
I'm
adding
like
conflict.
what does this mean, like and why, like how do I know that people are making decisions off of these areas here? Now this I really liked over here because here you got confirmation they made decisions off of that, there's no question. uh and these sellers in here really got it handed to them here. And yet again here, but this is the cash open and that would keep me away from it. The
You are correct. Yeah, it does add conflict. I agree with you on that. Yeah.
And then these lines though, it's like, okay, well hold on. I would look at it this way, and it's just my 2 cents here. This isn't really any kind of coaching or mentoring. It's just my 2 cents of like the lines on a chart. For me, I find confusing, but I do know that there's a high here. I do know where the sellers came in and moved it. And getting out maybe in this area in here or at the high to reduce some risk would make some good sense. If I would need to see some green come in here to try to move it, but like anyway, it's the market structure in here that would give me more confidence than the lines on a chart. But if you want to, if you see like some of these deviation lines align with some of the market structure, then that makes good sense to me. But like I said, like that's just my 2 cents worth.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense,
because
yeah.
otherwise, like it's like Fibonacci levels. Oh, they're trading off of the 618. No, they're trading off of the
They work enough to make you think that the market runs on them or something. Yeah.
exactly, and you don't know which one is working or not, and who's reacting to what. But I do know, due to the order flow and the market structure, that I can see that, and I know there's going to be reaction typically at those areas, and that I can rely on more than I can a line on a chart. So That's my only comment about the lines. Again,
That's great.
who am I to bring up some of those
No,
or to mention that, because
right,
like
yeah.
if you have data off of it, then you are completely justified. It might be a lunar cycle that you're looking at,
Right, right, yeah.
but if you have data on it and you're trading it and you're making money off of it, then it does not matter.
So I was messaging Rob Davis and Steven. I don't know if it was Steven who was also using these anchored VWAPs now, but I know Rob was. I messaged him to see if he wanted to get together and get like a small database together. Last week or 2 weeks ago, I released like a little database where it's making it easier for us to like vet statistics inside of Notion,
Mm-hmm.
using the check sheet method. It's kind of like the checklists that we've been doing,
Yeah.
except my checklists, I actually call them like check sheets because they're actually a little bit different. They're more like for fields that you can fill out to go into a database to show you how much of a fulfillment that you might need for this trade to work, or what's the favorability of this trade, how much average points you get. It's grunt work, it's tough, but like if Robert wanted to do that, we can work on a database together or a check sheet together and do some of these anchored VWAPs because I'm interested in it too. It seems pretty neat.
Well, you should be able to like, yeah. I mean, like it wouldn't take much to. I mean, here you've already got like multiple data points in here. I mean, you can see off of like, well, this is a little odd in here. They traded through it, but then you can see a little bit of reaction off of it. And then see again, like lines on a chart, but like I know that this is a shift away from this area here. Here's the retest, retest, retest. And then here, I'm surprised it didn't break down, but it didn't. And then the buyers come in and squeeze it higher. But like what I'm trying to say is you can go back and very quickly look at, okay, it held, it held, it held. This is what I'm looking for, and I'm looking for a reaction. Maybe you're looking for a specific move off of that. How much did it go against it? How much did it go for it? And then maybe you can really pretty easily put that into here's like three examples that you can put in and start to vet your data, or put your statistic model together. There is in Bookmap the trading statistics. You'll need to use this for your journal. Why isn't it working? Oh, because I'm out of stock. That's why. Hold on. And your trading statistics here. We're going to release the trading journal next week, so everyone will have it. But you'll check the box here, and then you open it up, and then well, first off, let's open up the statistics window here. You've got a lot of really good statistics already here. You got your how much it went for you, against you, and then you've got pre and or post MAE, or maximum adverse and favorable excursions here post your trade. So how well did you do? Did you get out too early? Did you hold too long, or whatever it is? And then it will spit it out into your trading journal, and then that's where you'll have a lot more data here to start to verify your setup for yourself. Really, we're going more and more this route, obviously, and we'll have more updates on this next week. But you can put all of this into your spreadsheet easily. If you want. It is where I mean, I think there's a way that you can get right to it. Yeah, well, you can export it right here if you want.
And is there a way to switch between like a sim account and your account? Maybe that we.
we're working on that. I think it will be released with the public release.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, that'll be really helpful, and yeah, you can get more involved into your spreadsheet and understand, like, you can really refine your strategy basically. So yeah, I'd recommend that. And then yeah, another one too, like I'd mentioned, Robbed, Blue Jacket winner. He embraced that replay mode. We'll have a webinar with him and see what we can learn from him, how he went through his process and turned things around for himself there. This will be really helpful. And Rob Davis, Valley Fan, all these guys that we just covered, Dune Runner, it'll help everybody. So just be more focused on what you trade, whatever it is, and we're here for you in the community. So yeah, thanks, DNT.
Yeah, thank you. I get a lot from you and other people, so I mean it's great. Last week we were talking about pullbacks to absorption zones that and then after we talked about that, I started looking at it and I actually see it in these trades. It's amazing. I just recently started looking at a VPOC migration with a checklist, and I find like the structure that I've been observing that goes into these VPOC migrations, and I'm putting that into a database as well, and it's wild. It's really neat. So I'm getting a lot from these. I really appreciate everything.
Yeah, cool. I mean, that's great to hear. Like, if I could bring it up, I would. But I wanted to comment about this. Slowdown was one that gave you feedback on that VPOC to VWAP trade, and he took the opposite trade. So this is exactly what I'm trying to get at here. So that's why I'm bringing it up again. Let's suppose this was up here. Here, let me just mark it up. We'll have to just kind of make it up here. But suppose this was your VWAP, and this was your point of control here, right? You took a short up here and you covered down here, right? And I remember the trade, but then I came back in and I said, did you go long on this, or did it continue on up like after this? And the reason being is this is where I think the order flow will really, really help that strategy, because if you take that, but that you see these buyers in here like this, you're not looking for a short, you're looking for a pullback, and you're looking for those buyers to come in again, and then you're looking for another move back up. You might take some off here, you might hold and look for the continuation at that time. Right? So instead of looking for okay, I'm going to short it back to POC, well, I mean, yeah, you could, and you did, and you made money, but it was a reversal pattern that was unfolding. And then, look for who's driving the market in the order flow and the transactions. And I think you'll probably get more out of your that VPOC to VWAP trade.
Yeah, VPOC you're right. You are right. Maybe was there a reversal structure or something prior to the shift up? The problem with that is all pullbacks to VWAP are almost always perceived as reversals. In a sense, like large moves down,
okay,
and you get a move back up you can almost always think about that. It's a reversal, and then pick a side. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, if that's what you find most of the time, then and you have your reasons for it, that's fine. I'm just saying, on all of these, no matter what it is that we're trading, always look at these three elements of market structure, volume, and liquidity. And that, along with your bigger trade plan idea, should assist it.
Yeah, I'm taking note of it, so I'll check it out. You might like those VPOC migrations on the spreadsheet there that I've added.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So
Thank you again. Appreciate it.
yeah, you're very welcome. Guys, that's everything. That's everything we have. We're always going over time, but we opened the mic for a lot of you. We saw live trade, Valley Fund. Thank you for sharing that. And thanks everybody. Just come back into this Bookmap Academy room, post your trades, make sure you get credit for your trades and your posts. So just after you make your post here, let me just show you. It's so simple, such a simple thing to do. So you make your post here, like Rob had posted in here. Come up here, copy your message, open up your spreadsheet. You should probably have your spreadsheet already open in another tab. Just copy it here, paste it in, and put a date on it. That's it. That's all we're asking. And then build that out, and you'll have, like, every day, of the every trading day, you'll have a trade or something to go over, and that'll be building your database for you, for your documentation, and your pathway through the Bookmap Academy. And you can get Bookmap for free, so that's all you need to do. All right. So yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for coming. And if there's, let's see, no more questions here, which I think we are. Let me see, just one last minute look here for questions, and then we will call it a day here. No, I think good. Yeah. All right. And how about over in YouTube? How we're doing? Okay. Yeah, we're good as well. Guys, thanks. Give this a thumbs up. Like it in YouTube. We'll see you guys next Thursday. Okay. Thanks for coming. Have a great rest of your evening.